Hello dear crypto friends, and welcome to this a bit of different video in which I'm going to talk about the 10 top mistakes, in my opinion, which you should avoid if you want to be successful in the crypto market. Meaning, of course, successful means you want to make some nice gains in the crypto market. Now, the biggest mistake, and believe me, I'm talking from experience, is to leave all your coins on a centralized exchange. You do not want to leave your coins, I cannot stress this often enough, on a centralized exchange. You don't want to do that. Believe me, I had to learn the hard way in 2015, in late 2015, early 2016, when I left like a stupid newbie my coins on back then the altcoin exchange Cryptsy. And when Cryptsy imploded because the a-hole CEO ran away with all the coins, I was looking like a stupid idiot and all my coins were gone. So I had to start fresh. I had to start new in early 2016, even though I had already been in the crypto market since 2013. But all my nice gains I lost when Cryptsy imploded in, I think it was January 2016. And this stuff can happen again. It's not like, oh yeah, but this was back in the day. This was Cryptsy, a small altcoin exchange. It cannot happen. Do not trust any exchange, no matter how legit it seems or how large it seems or how much volume they have. They can always implode and they can always run away with your money. I don't trust any single one of those exchanges, not even Binance, not even Kraken, not even Bitstamp. I would never leave my coins on these exchanges for a too extended period of time. It's just not worth it. You are risking your hard-earned money. You are risking your money and leaving it to someone else. It's as if you go with, like, I don't know, a suitcase with $1 million and you go to someone and you say to him, "Hello sir, would you be so kind as to take care of my suitcase here full of $1 million? I will leave it with you now for half a year or 1 year, and then I will come back in 1 year and pick it up. Would you be so friendly as to take care of this suitcase full of $1 million? Would you do that?" Of course you wouldn't do that. So why are you risking it, leaving coins on a centralized exchange? It's not worth it. It's just too risky, friends. It's too risky. Since that experience with Cryptsy, I never leave coins on an exchange for even more than a few days. Like, even a few days, I have a bad feeling. I just send money there, I buy the coins, withdraw. And if I sell coins, I send the coins there, sell them, and then withdraw the fiat money to a bank account. And I would advise you to do the same if you want to reduce the risk of losing your coins, which of course I think you don't want, because believe me, I was not in a good mood after this happened in early 2016 with Cryptsy. I was not in a good mood, okay? I was not in a good mood. Second mistake to avoid is not diversifying enough. And by not diversifying enough, I mean having only one coin, like going into one coin and believing that this coin for this or that reason will be an amazing coin and you cannot do anything wrong with this coin. It is the best coin ever because the development team is amazing, because it has such a perfect technology behind it. It might be the case, but still unexpected stuff happens all the time in the crypto market, all the time. Unforeseeable events happen all the time. Crypto is full of black swan events where coins completely imploded. Just look at the Terra Luna crash a few days ago. This seemed like a legit coin, right? It was a coin that pumped insanely and now suddenly it completely implodes. Or for example, Ripple being sued by the SEC, right? You think like Ripple was always a top performing altcoin, high market cap, very good performing altcoin, so let's go all into that coin. Also not a good idea, because then you make yourself too dependent on the outcome of a single coin, and you want to be diversified so that you minimize risk. We want to minimize risk because that increases the probability that we are going to be successful. Third mistake to avoid is going all in. Now, what do I mean by that? By that I mean that you invest an over proportionally large amount of your fiat holdings into crypto. So say you have like $100,000 and you say, okay, I'm super confident that this or that coin, whatever, this project will be absolutely amazing. I'm 100% sure that it will go 100x, right? And then you invest out of those 100,000 almost everything, 90,000 euros. You leave a bit over because you need some stuff, a bit of buffer to buy things, you know. We need food from time to time, for example. That is not a bad idea, to eat from time to time. So you leave a bit over, but still you invest an over proportionally large amount into crypto. Big mistake. You don't want to invest more than you can afford to lose, which brings us to the fourth mistake to avoid. Never invest more than you can afford to lose. Because if you invest more than you can afford to lose, what happens? You become emotionally attached to that money. You do not want to become emotionally attached. Even I, after 9 years in this crazy market, am still doing this mistake sometimes, and then I'm becoming emotionally attached. And then you watch your portfolio grow, you know, the numbers are getting bigger and bigger, and you think like, wow, this is so nice. What could I do with all this money? You have these dreams in your mind already. You see yourself on a yacht, you have insane parties on that yacht. You're sitting at the beach with your friends drinking cocktails, you're having an insane lifestyle. You see already all those pictures because you see your account balance grow so large, and that makes you emotionally attached. If you see these things, you, without knowing it, have become emotionally compromised. And this goes both ways. This goes to the positive and to the negative. You can become emotionally compromised if you start having those fantasies and start having these fantasies of grandeur. That is also emotionally compromised. But it happens the other way also. You're becoming panicky. You're clinging to the money like, oh God, that would be bad if I lose the money now. That would be really bad. So what happens? You start making emotional decisions. You start making panicky decisions, and being panicked is also really bad. So this goes both ways. It goes into the overconfidence area or into the panic area, and both things are really bad. So don't go all in and don't invest more than you can afford to lose. So I've already talked about it, because then 5, don't become too emotional. That means don't become too overconfident or too panicky. And the way to avoid this is, as I said, not to invest more than you can afford to lose. That is one way. But also, second, psychologically, you should train yourself after you have invested to detach yourself from the money emotionally. You don't want to be emotionally attached to the money. That means you should treat the money as if it was gone. Okay? Say you have 100,000 euros on your bank account. Investing an adequate amount would be, I would say, maybe 10% of your total holdings. So not more than 10% of those 100,000 euros. So in that case, 10,000 euros. Okay? If you are losing 10,000 euros, you will, have a few bad days. You will not be in a good mood, but then it's over, because you still have 90%, the vast majority of your holdings, if you lose that money. So if you invest in crypto, you should treat this invested money as if it was gone. It is gone. You invest that money, it is gone, okay? As if it doesn't exist anymore. And that way you trick yourself into not caring too much about that money. And if you don't care so much about that money, you will make better decisions and you are emotionally more detached. The 6th mistake to avoid is getting too greedy. Now this is one where I still fail even today. And I am open, I admit my mistakes. I will tell you exactly also in future videos which mistakes I made, so that you can learn to avoid these mistakes. So what do I mean by that? That means, like, say you invested 100,000 euros and now your coin went 10x and now you have 1 million euros, right? You see that large balance sheet, like, wow, amazing. I have 1 million euros now. That is awesome. That is amazing. But how cool would it be if I get another 10x? Wow. Think about it, what I could do with 10 million euros. How amazing would that be? And then you have these imaginations in your mind, like these pictures are popping up like, wow, I can do such amazing stuff with 10 million euros. That is crazy. And like, look, Dogecoin and Shiba Inu and all those coins went even 1000x. Wow. What would happen if I would 1000x my 100,000 euros? Wow, then I would have 100 million euros. And then you have like these insane visions of grandeur. Wow, 100 million euros, are you kidding me? What can I do with 100 million euros? And then you have all these pictures in your mind and you get completely too emotional again. And what happens then? You are not selling, you are not taking profits, because you think, if I now take profit, that will reduce the amount of money I will have in the future. Well, you're making the mistake to see your portfolio balance and to equate it to realized gains. As long as you haven't sold those gains, they are not real gains, they are just a virtual number in your bank account. Believe me, I still make this mistake like a complete idiot, like a complete newbie sometimes. And I'm completely honest, it happened to me this very cycle. I was not impressive. It was an 11x. I had an 11x from 2019 to 2021. Could have been better, but could have been also quite a lot worse, right? 11x. Not too bad, I would say. So instead of selling and taking profit along the way, what did I do? I became greedy because I thought, 11x, that is quite nice, but in 2017, I will talk about that in another video, I made actually a 340x. So compared to that, a 10x is quite pathetic. So I of course was getting greedy and waiting for the 100x, 200x, 300x, which what happened? Never came. So it never came, and then I didn't sell, and now I have coins that are worth less than they were 1 year ago, and now I have to rebuy. I have to invest more fiat now to compensate for my stupid mistake because I got too greedy, so that in the future, in the next 1, 2, 3 years, when Bitcoin and the altcoin market will go much higher, I get more gains and compensate for that mistake. Of course, note, I'm still not investing more than I can afford to lose, okay? I'm not going much more in. I'm increasing my stake, but up to a degree that I could still afford to lose it. But yet still, I became too greedy and made this mistake of not taking profits along the way. Which then brings us to the 7th mistake to avoid: not taking profits along the way. This is a common mistake, and it's very much linked to the being too greedy part. If you are too greedy, you will not take profits along the way because you think they are reducing your future maximum amount that you can achieve, right? That is clear. If your portfolio balance now says 1 million euros, right, in this fictional scenario where you invested 100,000 and you have a 10x, and you will say, okay, I could cash out half the money now, which would be quite nice. You would have 500k, which still would be 5 times more than you invested. Just think about it. Tell that to anyone doing stuff on Wall Street or investing into stocks. They would be freaking amazed to have 5-folded their money in a time span of only 2 years. And we here in crypto land are like, come on, it's only a 5x, and now I'm reducing my future gains because now you have only half of your portfolio value left in your cryptos, and therefore the maximum achievable gains for the future is reduced by 50%. And you think like, man, you have these visions in your mind, like what would you do with 100 million euros? And now you're like, wow, but that would only be 50 million euros. Now I cannot buy like 5 yachts and 20 Lambos and a private jet or stuff like that. It's an exaggerated story. I'm exaggerating it, of course, a bit, but you know what I mean. You're like, in your mind, you have these insane scenarios for the future, and then like, yeah, but if I sell now, I'm reducing my future gains. That doesn't feel nice. But as I said, it's a virtual number. As long as you haven't taken profit, it's just a virtual number in your portfolio. It's not a real number. Don't make that mistake. Don't become too greedy, because then you will not take profits along the way. And what happens if you don't take profits along the way? That brings us to the 8th mistake to avoid: not having enough fiat currency to rebuy and to buy a dip. That is what happens if you get too greedy. Then if an opportunity arises where you would need some nice amounts of cash, euros, dollars, or whatever other fiat currency to rebuy, like now when the dip came, when Bitcoin dipped to 25,000, all coins dumped, this is an amazing time to rebuy, because in 1, 2, 3, 4 years, 25k will seem like a joke. It will seem like a joke. And you would have missed the opportunity to rebuy at these low prices. Why? Because you didn't take enough profit along the way, and because you left everything in crypto, and now your virtual number that you have is only half or a third of what it was 1 year ago, and you don't have enough fiat currency to use this golden opportunity, this perfect entry point into the crypto market. And such opportunities only arise once every 1 or 2 years. So not having enough fiat money means you rob yourself of some golden opportunities, which is, of course, as you can imagine, also a consequence of me getting too greedy this cycle, and thus I didn't take profits along the way. And now I don't have as much fiat currency as I would like to have in order to rebuy at these very low crypto prices. The 9th mistake to avoid is having the wrong strategy, or not having the right strategy based on your surroundings. And by that I can mean many different things, like tax jurisdiction, gains you want to achieve, like what are your goals, right? And based on your own psychology, not taking these things into account. For example, in my case, I live in Germany. I live in the shittiest tax jurisdiction that you can imagine. Now, Germany has this weird, bizarre tax law that if you keep coins for at least 1 year, they become tax-free. But if you trade the coins, even if it's 1 year minus 1 day, you pay the full income tax. And the highest income tax in Germany is 47%. So yes, you give away half of your money to the German state because you didn't wait for 1 year. So then the German state forces you basically to trade only very seldomly, like long-term investing. And you are now having the wrong strategy for your tax jurisdiction if you trade like a berserk, because you will pay 50% of your gains as in form of taxes. And not only that, you have to document each trade. So you have like a Excel sheet with 5,000 or 10,000 entries, and you have to now explain to some funny guy working at the German tax office what you did there. Imagine how much fun that is, which I went through myself in 2017, 2018. I can tell you it is not a lot of fun. So what I then did is I changed my strategy to fit more the German tax jurisdiction laws, which was a big mistake. What should I have done instead? I should have said either I just pay 50% or I say ciao Germany and I move to another tax jurisdiction. Of course, always keep in mind, legally. We want to stay legal. It's never a good idea to tax evade and to, I don't know, run away with your coins to the Fiji Islands or stuff like that. I would advise against that. But it was a mistake to stay in Germany. And believe me, guys, I am changing this now. I am moving away from Germany to a country where I can trade without stupid, idiotic tax laws, okay? Being in the wrong tax jurisdiction, for example, can already be a mistake for you if you want to pursue a certain strategy. So therefore, having the wrong strategy, being in the wrong tax jurisdiction, and being too emotional can really be very detrimental to your success. I'm still having success, but far less than I would have been able to have had I not made these mistakes. So please learn from my mistakes, dear viewers. It's a battle against your own psychology. Every single day you have to win against your own psychology, against how you are. Learn yourself and then learn from your mistakes. And this learning process is a lifelong process. I will still not be finished with it even in 5 or 10 years. So always base your strategy on sound principles and don't change it just because you are annoyed by the tax laws or by some stuff. If the tax laws annoy you, just move to another country in a legal way. Just move to another country. I'm doing that now. I'm super annoyed by the German tax laws. I'm moving away from Germany because I find it ridiculous. The tax laws are like completely idiotic. It is ridiculous that you hold a coin for 1 year and 1 day, you pay no tax. You hold it for 364 days, you pay 47% taxes. If they would be smart, they would put a 25% or 30% flat rate tax on all crypto trades, and like capital gains tax or something that would make it life easier for everyone, and people would actually have more fun staying in Germany. Everyone would profit. But the politicians, being politicians, they are complete idiots, so I don't expect that they will change these laws anytime soon. So I learned my mistake. I'm moving away from Germany so that in the next cycle I will be more efficient with my trading strategy. Which brings us to the 10th mistake to avoid if you want to be successful as a crypto trader or investor, is chasing the hype. This is also very emotional. You become too emotional. You're like, man, look at those people. Like, okay, I made 10x now, 20x, but this guy who just bought Shiba Inu, he was just lucky and he made 1000x. Or this guy, he went full into Dogecoin 5 years ago, and now Elon Musk started hyping Dogecoin, and now this Dogecoin went like 100 or 500 or 800x, and this guy made an 800x, and here I'm sitting like an idiot, made my research, planned everything, and yet still I'm having only a 10x. This is pathetic. So I need to start, like, I also want those gains, so I also need to buy those new and fancy coins, these shiny coins, you know. I need to buy Dogecoin. I need to get into, wow, this coin pumped nicely. Luna, this coin pumped really nicely. It went 500x since 2020. This is amazing. I need to buy a bit of that coin. Oh, look, Cardano went to 200x in 1.5 years since March 2020. Amazing. I need to get into Cardano. Oh, look, this other coin, 500x in 1 year. Amazing. I need to buy a bit from that coin. So you're starting to chase the hype. You're starting to chase coins. And normally how the hype works, you're getting into the coin when it's already over. You're getting into the coin when the hype is already over, it's done, and you most likely have bought the top, and from there it will just like just creep lower and lower, and you started chasing the hype, and you most likely have bought the top, which is not nice. So these are the top 10 mistakes that believe me, I made them all. And as you saw, I still make a few of them. So I'm still prone to these mistakes even after 9 years. Just think about it, how crazy that is. You would think that after 9 years you learn, but it's a constant fight against your own psychology. Know yourself, know your weaknesses. My weakness is greediness. It's a big mistake. I'm certainly a bit too greedy because I have had success in the past. I made a 340x back in 2017, and now I'm like everything below 100x is a failure. But that is stupid thinking. That is stupid. That is greedy. If you tenfold your money, that's already pretty nice. And many people in the stock market would be pretty damn happy if they would have 10x their money. So don't make the mistakes I made. Don't become too greedy and avoid all those mistakes. Trading and long-term investing is mostly, as you have seen, psychology. It's like mostly based on long-term determination, having enough patience, and having the right mindset, and knowing your weaknesses and constantly fighting against your own psychology. So friends, I hope this was helpful. I will make future videos, and I will also go more into altcoin strategies in the next videos, and I will tell my full insane crypto story so that you have a bit of context and understand my successes, but also my stupid failures, because then you will see that I'm actually, even though from the perspective of other people, I seem successful in the crypto market. I seem like a successful person because I make nice gains, but actually I'm failing myself. I'm failing myself to success. Failing myself to success. It's like if you're beating a game and you're dying yourself, your character dies 5,000 times until you have beaten the game. That's basically my story. I'm failing myself to success. quite hilarious, right? So these are the things I will talk about in the next 2 videos, but I hope you enjoyed this kind of a different video. It's more of a personal video, and I don't want to pretend like I'm a super awesome guy, because you know, many YouTubers, they want to present themselves only from their best side, and this is insincere. I want to share also my epic fails, because first, I think they are quite hilarious and funny, and second, you can learn from them and thus avoid my mistakes and maybe take a shortcut. Maybe you will only make 3 or 4 mistakes instead of 20 plus mistakes that I made in the last 9 years. But you can avoid them, and hopefully this helped you. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like, maybe even subscribe to this channel, because this will be a bit of a different crypto channel. I will share my successes, but also my epic fails. So I hope this will be a bit more of a personal crypto channel and a bit more sincere, because I don't want to pretend something that I'm not. It's a bit childish. Like I don't want to run around and look how awesome I am. Everyone can present him or herself from the best side, but this is only one aspect of the whole picture. Thanks for watching, friends, and then I would say see you in the next video. Bye.